I'm going to say something that a lot of men over the age of 50 don't want to admit. You don't lose your strength just because you're aging. You lose it because somewhere along the way, you stopped fighting for it. I know that very well because I've lived it. At one point in my life, I went from always being strong, lean, and disciplined, and that was throughout most of my life, to one morning in my early 50s, stepping on a scale and seeing 292 pounds staring back at me. And that moment changed everything. Hi there, I'm Terry, and I help men over 40 and especially over 50 restore their testosterone, rebuild their strength, burn fat, and take back control of their lives. But I'm not just teaching this. I've lived it for over 50 years. And today I want to share my story. As a young man growing up in Western Canada, moving through my journey in life, and more importantly, the lessons that I've learned, and that maybe I can help you avoid the same mistakes that I made or fix them before it's too late. So let's go. So before I get started, I just thought I'd put some early photos in there of me when I was quite young. I started, lifting weights at the age of 12 in our basement gym, and I was doing martial arts at the same time and playing hockey. So that's what that's all from. I'm not very big there, but about 165 pounds. I was lean and muscular and tight and had a six-pack for years. And that's all with healthy eating, working out and training. And the photo on the other side here is from 1985. I'm fully into my bodybuilding training there. I'd already finished university, had my own gym, and was moving on in life here. But I had actually trained in a lot of different gyms, and I actually got the chance to go down to Southern California and live out a dream. I took another buddy with me, and we went down to Santa Monica and Venice, California. And yes, I worked out at world's famous Gold's Gym for about 8 weeks, met a lot of famous people, loved it, and it was a great experience, and I learned a lot. So this is my background story. So 50 years of training, basically from 1975 to 2025. Right now I'm 64 years old. I grew up in Western Canada, and like a lot of boys in that area, I played hockey from a young age, and my older brother as well. And all our childhood friends and neighbors, everybody that was in my local vicinity there. But I also discovered something early, discipline through training. I started lifting weights at the age of 12, and that was in our basement gym. At the same time, I started training in martial arts. So I was lifting weights, training martial arts when I could, and playing hockey in the winter. And that foundation led me into competitive bodybuilding eventually, and I went on to win some regional titles in Canada. And I was always strong, focused, and driven. I went to university, earned a business degree, a bachelor's degree, and then later on I went back to do an MBA, and I built a career in finance, investments, and entrepreneurship. At the age of 23, though, I even owned a gym and worked as a personal trainer in that gym because we had my brother and I had a following in the city we grew up with because of our titles that we'd won. But throughout my life, traveling across Europe, Asia, Central and South America, and the Caribbean, I trained in gyms all over the world, and even legendary places like Gold's Gym and World's Gym in Venice, Santa Monica back in the mid-'80s. So fitness wasn't just something I did, it was who I was. But then life happened. As I moved into my 50s, things started to shift. I went through a marriage breakdown, financial pressures, setbacks, disappointments with a couple of close friends, and for the first time in my life, I lost my focus, not just in the gym, but mentally, emotionally, and every area of my life. I stopped training regularly and consistently the way I used to. I stopped eating the way I knew I should have, and slowly, this creeps up to you, I became someone I did not recognize. I gained weight, I lost strength, I lost my energy and drive, and worst of all, I started telling myself, well, this is just what happens when you get older. It's aging. And that belief, my friends, is what traps most men. So then one morning, I had my wake-up call. I stepped onto the scale, and what's looking back at me is 292 pounds. And I just stood there staring at it. Because for most of my adult life, I was around 205, always lean, muscular, and strong, and always in control. And at that moment, I realized something very simple. I didn't end up here overnight. I got here through small daily decisions that were repeated over time. And if I wanted my life back, I had to reverse this process, and I had to do it dramatically, one disciplined decision at a time. And most certainly nobody's going to do it for me. So I had to get started on making a change immediately. So to make a comeback, I went back to the one thing that always worked for me in my life. Whenever I had issues, I could always go to the gym and get into shape, or stay in shape, or do whatever I needed to get my health back. So I did go into the gym again, but slowly and with intention. I did rebuild my routines to fit my situation. I cleaned up my nutrition, but this time I approached it quite a bit differently. Not just fitness, total wellness. Hormones, recovery, sleep, stress, and now I'm thinking about longevity. I even began daily meditations, which really helped me. So today I'm in my 60s, and I believe I'm strong and muscular again. Maybe not quite like I was in my 20s, but nevertheless, my weight is almost back down to where it was before I started this decline. And I'm working on myself each and every day, consistently, but now with a smarter and more holistic approach. And this time, I will never stop. I'm just going to simply make adjustments along the way as my body changes and as I age. I feel stronger and more focused and more driven now than I have been in years. Not because I'm younger, but because now I'm intentional. So here are some life lessons that maybe you could take away from my life journey and apply them to your own life at whatever age you may be currently. So I have 6 lessons for you. Let me give you the biggest lessons I've learned, the ones that I can say that will change your life starting today if you put them into practice. So number 1 is discipline beats motivation every single time. Motivation comes and goes, but systems and habits and your consistency is what will carry you forward. Okay, so number 2 is your body reflects your standards, believe it or not. If you tolerate poor habits, your body will show it and other people will see it as well. So number 3 is aging is not the enemy, it's the neglect. Most decline is not strictly from age, it's years of ignoring what matters. Number 4 is strength training and muscle building are non-negotiable after the age of 40. Muscle is your insurance policy for longevity, your metabolism, and your testosterone. So as I said previously, I'm never going to stop. All I will do is make adjustments as my body changes, but I'm never going to stop strength training in one form or another. Number 5 is you can rebuild at any age, but you must decide. The decision is the turning point. Everything else follows from there. And number 6, probably the most important, is your mindset determines your trajectory every time. The moment you say, I'm too old, you start proving it's true, and you're done. What I'd like to leave you with here is a famous quote from Van Gogh, which I really like. And he says that I dream my painting and I paint my dream. So have a vision of where you want to go, believe in it, and then decide to do it no matter what age you are. If you're a man over 50 and you've been watching this video and you know you've lost your edge, I want you to understand something. You're not done, not even close. You just need to get back on the right track. That's why I created this channel, to help men like you rebuild their strength, restore their testosterone, and get healthy again and take your life back. If that's what you want, subscribe to this channel and I'll help guide you every step of the way. I hope to see you in my next video, and until then, have a great day.